Alright, hey guys. I got asked to do some videos on how to program for speed and power and strength. So this is a dynamic lower day. I didn't get to go to the gym this day, so I just went use my own squat rack and bar. Got to do some box squats. So these are just some warm-up sets. This is where you really focus on your form and see how I'm already kind of working on that speed and acceleration off of the box. That's basically what this is going to be, is just talking through these very basic bare bones dynamic effort lower for box squats. So for everything, I'd like to do about 20 reps, just because that gets my hips warm and kind of get used to the movement. And then I'll move up to 135 here. And then same thing, you just really want to focus on your form and getting it right under the bar, setting up correctly, feet placement, and pushing your knees apart and really sitting onto the box quickly and then exploding back up. Being very smooth and controlled, but being fast as well. And then here's my working sets. Doing 225, I'm doing 15 sets of 2. This is about 55% of my 1 rep max. So just notice every single time how I set up, it's always the same. And then you start to notice where I kind of accelerate up. It's about maybe 45-degree angle when I'm getting off of the box. You can really see that I'm starting to accelerate, and that's where the speed comes from. You really want to control that descent fastly. You can learn how to absorb that force and then stand up back quickly. And then the box squats, when you're doing regular squats, you get that stretch reflex a little bit from the bottom, you kind of bounce. But with box squats, you see how I'm sitting down and then that I'm kind of pausing a little bit, like the box is taking on some of the force and it's kind of getting pushed over the box, and I'm having to flex and really reverse out of that position quickly. And it has a lot of carryover over to normal squats and to box or regular back squats, and even to your deadlift, because you're going a little bit wider and you're having to really use your hips and your lower back and hamstrings to get up off of the box. And so you notice how almost all my setup looks the same almost every set. If I didn't label these, you could probably think that they're just all one set pushed on replay. That's what you really want to focus on speed days, is where you're focusing on your form because you're at lighter weight. And this is where you really get to practice what works best for you. And of course, you can change up your foot position, your grip, the box height, how long you sit on the box, and there's a lot of variables you can do. I'll get into that in further videos, but the program I'm doing is calling for almost competition style stances and grips, and so that's what I'm doing here. I'm not going super wide, but I'm not going narrow either. And then watch here, when I sit down to the box and when I start to stand up, about halfway up, when I'm upright, you can see that I kind of accelerate up a little bit faster. And I push my hips forward. So I'm sitting, standing, pushing up through. That's what you want to do every single time. Yeah, and then even with speed sets, dynamic workouts, you want to have higher volume too, just because you're getting used to that movement. And it's really, like I said, it really carries over to your max effort movements. So when you're doing box squats, doing wider is better. Like I said, I'm just doing my weak stance or competition style stance. And then one thing with box squats too, you hear Louis Simmons talk about it, Matt Wenning, Dave Tate, that the wider stance always builds your narrow stance, but narrow doesn't always build wide. So that's why you see me do a lot of sumo style stuff. Builds the hips a lot better. And just leads to better performance gains for myself. And most of my clients that I work with too do a lot of sumo stuff. So you can see I'm getting up to my higher sets at 12 with 225, and you kind of have to work up to this, getting conditioning your GPP up to be able to handle this much volume and workload. So some of the big name guys like I'd named before, Matt Wenning, Dave Tate, Louis Simmons, Mark Bowell, they talk about you should be so explosive off of the box that you feel like you're going to jump. And that's how the kind of speed you want to be coming off of the box with. So here you see set 13. I'm not slowing down at all. I kind of felt like I was getting a little bit faster towards the end. And my form was just getting better and better the more I got used to doing the movement. As you can see, like my knees aren't shifting too far forward. They're kind of almost staying straight up and down vertically. See, so my knees barely even moving. It's all my hips and actual body moving, not my knees. And then my last set here was probably my best set so far. So this was the basic, like I said, basic dynamic effort lower, which is just a speed workout. I'll be doing more of these. I'll be breaking down the box squat more in depth about what a dynamic effort day is, a full one. So guys, thanks for watching, and try these out, enter them into your program.